I'm Becky Buttons with Brick City Printing, and in this video I am making flexible car magnets with a Silhouette Curio 2 flatbed plotter. So we have roll-in printers here for making stickers, and they do make eco-solvent roll-in printable flexible magnet material. But it is kind of a giant pain to run it through an actual, to print directly onto magnetic material, because there are metal components in the printer that you have to mask off. The quality is not so great. And according to my roll-in rep, if I run too much magnet material through there, it will ruin the grit rollers, the things that moves the material through, and those are not replaceable. So you're basically just killing a $30,000 piece of equipment a little bit every time you run magnetic material on those metal grit rollers. So what we've been doing instead is printing onto sticker vinyl and laminating that onto magnetic sheets, and then cutting it using a silhouette, a flatbed silhouette, because the roll plotters also have that same issue with the grit rollers and the metal things. So the material drags real hard, and it doesn't cut right in most types of plotters. I have a desktop silhouette as well, and it also just cannot handle magnetic material. Flatbed plotters, industrial grade flatbed plotters, are also $30,000-$40,000 easily. So when I found this bad dad for less than $1,000, I bought one. I probably should have bought a couple, to be honest, because I am now trying to cut out 1,000 pieces like this on this thing, and it's real fun. It's real fun. The most fun part about the Curio 2 is that it doesn't like to register these things. So what I did was I laid this out in Silhouette Studio and then printed out a PDF. And then I took that into VersaWorks and printed out my sticker material, laminated it to magnetic sheeting, and so I've got my Silhouette registration on here, but the plotter has been not liking my registration. So I'm troubleshooting it now, and I figured I might as well just pop on this video in case I do figure out what the solution is. I can record it. I've been trying various things. So a lot of the plotters that use registration have like a little eye, and they can see the little registration. So material that's super shiny or whatever is gonna reflection, bad lighting in your shop. A lot of different things can cause that little eye to not be able to see the registration. I am not sure why this thing isn't seeing my registration. The material isn't super shiny. It is a little glossy, but it's not too bad. One of the things I'm gonna try is hitting it with some matte spray to see if I can cut down the glare. Maybe that's part of the problem. But I am bringing you along to troubleshoot this with me now. So let's try. The other thing I've been trying to do here is make sure that the material is super flat when it goes to try to look at the registration, because that's another thing. If the material is bowed at all, it doesn't see it as a little square, and it misses it. So I'm gonna try to register now, and let's see if it works. So the first thing that the Curio does is it brings this tool down, the tool 2, to test the thickness of the material. This little flatbed plotter is actually like pretty cool if I could get it to register, but as you can see, it just failed. So one thing that you can do is you can see kind of where the little eye is looking at the laser, and try to kind of adjust your your material to where it's a little closer to where it's going to be looking. And I'm also going to hold this down with my finger. Nope, it failed again. This is very frustrating. This is the most frustrating part of this. Here we go, register. There it goes, I found it. And now it's gonna find the second registration. Okay, and once it finds the second registration, it's usually good to go. And then you've gotta not move this thing at all. And tape it down before it starts cutting, because the magnet material is like too heavy. The electrostatic bed doesn't actually hold it. One of the cool things about cutting magnet material though is that you really only have to score it. It doesn't have to go all the way through the material. So as long as it's got a good score, it goes about halfway down. You can pop out the cut graphics pretty easily. So the blade depth isn't super big deal on this, but keeping this material flat on here for sure is. So yeah, I've been all day having trouble registering my Curio 2, and the things that have worked for me is holding the material down flat so that it can see the little square. I'm gonna try reducing the glare on the material itself, just in that little corner. I've tried coloring the little black square in with a marker to try to make it more obvious where to cut. And I've tried just moving the material to where it looks like the little eye is going. So, varying degrees of success. Actually, I have a pile of sheets over there that just wouldn't cut, and I'm probably just going to cut those down with a knife. So, this flatbed plotter is very cool for certain material, but you know, it's still like, if you're looking at like, oh, I can save myself $20,000 and just buy this little guy. I mean, it's gonna register your material about as well as a $400, inkjet printer. Do you know what I mean? Just got some limitations there. Let's do another one. That actually was a lot easier than I anticipated it being. Like I said, I've been sitting here all day working on this, trying to dial it in. Yeah, and so you can see that it didn't cut all the way through, but it doesn't actually need to for magnet material. You can still like pop these out super easily if it's scored good enough. See? All right, let's try again. Okay, so this one's got the registration pretty close to the edge here, so I am gonna guess that I'm gonna have trouble with this one. So before I tape it down, I'm gonna just register it, because I don't want to put all this tape down and then have it not register. So I'm gonna hold it and hit send on my app, and then that's gonna come down and test the thickness of the material, and then this little laser eye is going to come over and try to find that registration. Didn't find it. All right, let's try again. I'm going to move it up and to the left. Let's try that. Oh, I found it. And it's found that one. Yay. So then tape down. All right. And we're gonna let her go. I've never actually seen it fail on the third registration. It usually will just fail on this dot, and occasionally it'll fail on the bottom one as well. Having graphics too close to the registration mark is a problem. Having the registration mark too close to the edge is a problem. Again, the glare possibly, or the lighting in your space. There is a lot of reasons why the registration is failing. But on a few of these sheets, I couldn't figure it out. I tried and couldn't. And I'm just gonna X-Acto knife some of this order.